Bonjour, l'explorateur français René Robert Cavalier, sieur de la Salle, fonde la ville de Saint-Louis en 1682 et poursuivit ses expéditions le long du bassin du Mississippi. No, you're not in the wrong class. The explorer La Salle continued his travels up the Mississippi, claiming new territories in the name of his king, Louis XIV. And in his honor, he named it Louisiana. The French were building a presence in the Americas, aspiring to expand the French Empire to the New World. Had they succeeded, I might have been teaching this course in French. But, alas, as we will see, things didn't quite go as planned. C'est la vie. Clearly, the richest and most lucrative French colony at the time was Saint-Domingue, today's island of Haiti, where they produced sugarcane for Europe in vast plantations, ruthlessly worked under the most appalling conditions by African slaves. These conditions were so devastating and intolerable that the slaves, led by Toussaint Louverture, rebelled in 1791. By 1801, Louverture was the de facto ruler of Haiti and the self-appointed governor-general of the island. Napoleon Bonaparte, for fear of losing hold of the French dominance in the area, sent his brother-in-law, General Victor-Emmanuel Leclerc, with 30,000 seasoned French troops to squash the slave rebellion. The slaves fought viciously against the French troops. However, surprisingly, mosquitoes were those that laid the decisive blow. 90% of the French army succumbed to yellow fever, an acute viral disease transmitted by mosquitoes, which many of the slaves had over the years experienced and gained immunity. So it was yellow fever that led to Bonaparte's failure to put down the slave revolution. This, along with impending war with Great Britain and massive financial difficulties, prompted him to simply rid himself of Louisiana and abandon forever any dreams of establishing a French-American empire. In 1803, France sold Louisiana to President Jefferson for $15 million, which in a single transaction doubled the territory of the United States and set in motion the settling of 15 new states of the Midwest. Yellow fever is the name species and namesake of the family Flaviviridae. The word flavus in Latin means yellow. The virus is a 50 nanometer round enveloped virus harboring a positive strand RNA genome of about 11,000 bases, coding for some 10 proteins. The virus is transmitted to humans by the mosquito vector, Aedes aegypti, and virus enters the body through mosquito bites and infects skin cells first, and then blood cells that travel to lymph nodes. Typically, people present with a mild flu-like disease, having symptoms such as fevers, chills, muscle fatigue, and headaches, as well as the loss of appetite and nausea. However, in about 15% of the cases, the disease spreads to the liver, leading to tissue damage resulting in a yellow complexion, hence the name. The disease can further deteriorate to lead to bleeding, kidney failure, and death. Thus, yellow fever is a hemorrhagic disease, meaning causing fever and bleeding. The disease originated in Africa and in the early 17th century spread to the Americas via the slave trade. Continuous shipment of fresh slaves to the New World explains how so many local Haitians were immune to yellow fever. This was in contrast to the invading French troops that fell victims to the disease. Today, over 200,000 people worldwide still get infected yearly with yellow fever, and some 30,000 of them die of the disease. Flaviviruses include other insect-borne diseases, such as dengue fever, Japanese encephalitis, and West Nile fever. The most recent flavivirus to make the headlines is Zika virus.
A growing outbreak of a mosquito-borne virus.
The Zika virus appears to be a lot scarier than first thought.
Strangely, this virus causes an extremely mild disease that typically goes unnoticed. It has also been known for quite a few decades, being first isolated in 1947 in Ugandan monkeys of the Zika forest. So, why all of a sudden has it hit the headlines? In 2015, numerous cases of microcephaly were reported in Brazil. This is a serious birth defect in babies in which their brains develop poorly, resulting in smaller than normal-sized head. The condition is also associated with impaired cognitive development of the child and motor defects as well. Careful studies determined that pregnant women infected with Zika virus can transfer the disease to their fetus. Such early exposure to Zika virus at such a sensitive stage of development can lead to microcephaly. How is it that all of a sudden a mild and little-known disease in Africa can spark a sudden raging epidemic halfway across the world in South America? I asked Professor Scott Weaver to explain.